And we're just about set to go here from the UW Milwaukee Panther Arena. Sam Wynn along with the Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer as you get a look at some of the fans gathered here today. And again, we welcome everybody wherever you may be tuning us in the city of Milwaukee, Milwaukee County, southeastern Wisconsin, the state of Wisconsin, the upper Midwest, the United States, the continent of North America, the Northern Hemisphere, the planet Earth, the solar system, or worlds beyond. And AK, the Wave, trying to see if they can carry over the momentum from that big win over Chicago here on New Year's Eve day. And this would seem to be an ideal opponent to do so, but no question, St. Louis, a team that's desperate for a victory, and I'm sure they are, at least initially, going to give the Wave a pretty intense battle here today.
Has your list gotten longer of places? I'm just sitting there thinking about that. And sir, hey, it's St. Louis, Missouri, too, my hometown. Sure, there's some people in St. Louis.
No doubt.
Yeah, you know, today's game, the Wave, as Giuliano Oliviero said, the Wave's head coach, trying to find some consistency here in this season, this 20-game season. We're at the halfway point, 5-5. The Wave's going to need to put up an 8-2 final 10 games, I believe, in order to make the MASL playoffs.
Top two teams in each division make it. Wave and the Ambush, both rivals in the Central Division, along with Chicago, Cedar Rapids, and Kansas City. Cedar Rapids tops the division with a mark of 8-3. Big win by the Mustangs last night, going to Cedar Rapids to defeat the Rampage by the score of 7-5. Pee Wee Ortega with the last 2 goals in that contest. Right off the bat, shot is cracked down. I think it was Vadim Kokoyev with the blast there that was just off the post to the left. Wave goalkeeper again is Rafael Diaz, sporting the pink jersey today. There's Tenzin Rampa, the veteran from Madison, played his college ball at UW Milwaukee. Tenzin back in the lineup today after he suffered an ankle injury on a brutal tackle last week against the Mustangs. Casey Clark punches that one away off the inboard. Coming in with a shot, Max Ferdinand just a bit high. Rampa tracks it down, keeps it alive for Bennett, and almost a chance there for Max Ferdinand, but cleared away by the Ambush. Back they come, Cody Kostakis. Moves in for a shot, nice block by a sliding Chan Vandegrift. We talked about Ian Bennett with his 6 goals last week for the Wave. Chad Vandegrift had the hat trick, his first 3 of the year, so Ian and Chad combining for all 9 in that Wave victory over Chicago. Drive that's wide, rebound comes out high, and the Ambush will cycle it back. Mitchell Garcia drops it back for Casey Clark. Clark, a rookie out of Denair, California. Played his college ball in Nebraska. Stefan San Luis, the former member of the Wave, trying to work his way. Now a header by Ross McGregor in front. That's cleared out by Rampa.
St. Louis with some good early pressure here on the Wave goal. A good chance by Kostakis just moments ago.
And Diaz able to go up and play that one after it caromed off the glass above the crossbar.
Talked about goalkeeper Casey Clark in the nets for St. Louis. They got into all kind of trouble last game here in Milwaukee, trying to play out of the back with Clark. And be interesting to see if head coach Tony Glavin tries to get him to come up and throw a little bit early on, take some of that pressure off.
Diaz has to hustle back to get that after he was out near midfield.
Very close to being outside the penalty area there, Tom.
Our officials today, Shane Butler, Kyle Trimble, a couple of veterans. Andre Hain trying to move it up for the Wave. Hain, a member of the Ambush last year. Wave acquired him in an off-season deal for goalkeeper Marcel Feinstra. Feinstra, however, has not played for the Ambush this year. Speaking of Clark, the rookie goalkeeper out of Doane College in Crete, Nebraska. He is getting a tough indoctrination here to the MASL, but Coach Tony Glavin feels he's got some potential.
Clark 1-6 on the season so far for the Ambush. You see St. Louis is going to drop back defensively, Tom, into their own half of the field, taking a page out of the Syracuse playbook where they defeated the Wave earlier in the season here in Milwaukee.
That was a 6-3 Silver Knights victory here back on December 17th.
Recall the Wave had a 2-1 lead in that game, but couldn't extend the lead in Syracuse with a late surge to win that game.
Ball cleared out in the stands, and St. Louis trying to change while the Wave has the restart near their attacking zone. That was a little bit dicey there by the ambush, but they were able to execute it. Eder Nelson, the rookie from Costa Rica, number 15. Plays it back out. There's Daniel Chamale. He's also a rookie, Canadian from Ontario.
Spoke with Giuliano Oliviero, the Wave coach, before the game. Asked him what were you going to do if they tried to drop back against you. He said we need to spin early to the end boards, to the back boards, try to get some runs into the box.
Wave being patient with this possession as you see Tony Patterson, the Menominee Falls native, back in the lineup today. Tony had been out of the lineup several games, hampered a bit by injuries, but he's back in there today. Now Ferdinand takes it away. Here's Max. What a move there. Coming in. Lays it up far side. Shot to go. Ian Bennett. And the Waves IBM scoring computer is off and running. Milwaukee leads at 1-0.
Max Ferdinand shows you why he's the league leader in assists right there. What a great piece of skill by Max, eluding two St. Louis defenders just at the top of the box, and then having the great vision to find Bennett at the far post. We actually missed the first, really the best part of that rush when Ferdinand took on the two St. Louis defenders. And then St. Louis all caught focusing on Ferdinand, left Ian Bennett, the league's leading scorer, alone at the far post, and Bennett with his 30th goal of the season. What a play, Tom, by Max Ferdinand.
Max with his 17th assist. He leads the league in that category. And again, the IBM combination art continues to just thrive here in the first half of the season.
Ferdinand just undressed the two St. Louis defenders. What a great piece of skill by Max Ferdinand.
Yeah, I hope we get a chance to see another replay on that. That was one of the classics. As Bill Raftery, the famous college basketball announcer, would say, he left his lingerie on the turf. Talking about the St. Louis defender. Foul called on Sean Tosh. There you see Sean, the second-year man out of Oswego, Illinois, and Northern Illinois University.
Such great control in tight spaces that time. Made it look very, very easy. And trust me, as a former player, it's not easy to try to dribble past two guys that close to the goal.
Mattingly lays it off as looked like Lucas Almeida running through, trying for a shot. Almeida thought he got pushed off on the play. Meanwhile, the Wave comes back to midfield, and Chad Vandergriff is checked down by Stefan Saint-Louis. Stefan playing the last year and a half with Milwaukee, and he belabors the point a little bit too much, and he'll have to go to the box on a 5-minute misconduct.
Well, difficult call there. It looked like St. Louis got all ball that time. I didn't think it was a foul, and then he had a little bit too much to say there to Kyle Trimble, in Kyle's opinion. Stefan, one of the veterans of the St. Louis team, can't afford to find himself in the box. Kyle Trimble, the referee, trying to set the tone there. I thought that was a bit harsh, though, on his part.
So Stefan will send out the next 5 minutes, or possibly longer. He's got to wait for a break in the action to get back out there. But I've always thought, Art, it's very appropriate with Stefan playing for St. Louis, since he spells his name exactly the same way. Second tour duty with the ambush.
It's easy for me to sit up here and criticize referee Kyle Trimble, but I don't know what St. Louis said to Kyle Trimble.
That is the part
it was definitely a quick trigger that time on the part of Trimble to put him in the box so early in the game.
Yeah, that's the part that we can only speculate on. Daniel Matos controlling for Milwaukee. No power play for the Wave. But again, St. Louis will be out for at least 5 minutes. Crowd still gathered here on a Saturday afternoon in Milwaukee. A temperature was actually above zero coming into the game here today. Heat wave is heating up. Chamale, nice move there. Daniel lays it off to another Daniel. Matos coming in, but he mishit it. And scooped up by Clark.
I think Matos was looking to pass to Eder Nelson that time, and at the last minute he changed his mind and didn't get a lot on that shot.
Actually a balmy 13 degrees outside right now. Foul was called on Hundelt for St. Louis. His father, star for the Ambush back in the 90s. And he was out of the lineup the last time these two teams played. Broke in with the Ambush last year. And as we talked about before, if Hundelt has any of the abilities that his father had, he turned out to be quite a player.
Well, comes from a great soccer family, the Hundelts.
Is he a CBC guy also, Kevin Hundelt?
Either SLU or CBC. One of the two, I have to say.
Jamale looking on the wing, can't make the connection with Ricardo. And now back come the Ambush. Ambush moving it right to left as you look at the action. Richard Schmerman laying the ball off to the corner. Garcia with it. He'll swing it across far side. That's Kenji Takada.
You have to check that too, though. I believe they're from the north side. I grew up on the south side, but the Hundelts from up north.
Wave trying to see if they can clear the zone. Patterson steps up. And now loose ball top of the area. Nice move there. Shot in the goal. Corey Adamson, the one-time Wave player, puts it away. And we're back to even at one apiece.
I believe it was Kostakis who set that up. Might have gotten away with a dangerous play that time, right at the top of the Waves box. But a good piece of skill that time by Corey Adamson, the former Wave player. Finishes it with the left foot. Let's see him take a look right there. He missed that initial challenge right there by Kostakis.
So Corey Adamson ties it up for St. Louis. He gets his 6th goal of the year. Still does not have an assist, and we'll see if Kostakis gets the assist. Tied at one apiece. Taking a look at the MASL scoreboard from last night's. Some pretty good games around the league last night. Syracuse at home defeated Harrisburg 11-7. Il Paisano, Joey Tavanesi with 4 goals and assists in that one. Florida with a big win against the Dallas Sidekicks down in Lakeland, 8-6. As we mentioned, Chicago went to Cedar Rapids, defeated the Rampage 7-5. That game was tied 5-5 late before Pee Wee Ortega took over, scored the last 2 goals, including the shorthander that made it 7-5 late in the contest. El Paso Coyotes continuing their tough first season, 0-10 now after the Coyotes got hammered by Soles de Sonora 15-6 last night in El Paso. Frank Tayo, the league's second leading scorer with 4 goals in that one. And the Ontario Fury going into Turlock, handing the Express their first setback at the Turlock Recplex by the final score of 5-3.
Things very tight in the Central Division where the Wave sits. Cedar Rapids on top. Kansas City and Chicago right there. The Wave sitting in 4th, and that's why the Wave cannot afford to drop a game to St. Louis here this afternoon.
Rampage at 8-3, Mustang 6-3, Comet 6-4, Wave 5-5, Ambush 1-8. We'll run down the rest of the MASL standings for you a bit later on. This is the only game going on this afternoon right now. Ferdinand off the end board, looking to see if he could make the connection with Robert Renault, but just missing. Now Almeida back the other way. Almeida, who broke into the MASL with the old Tulsa Revolution, plays it back from Clark. Pressure from Sean Tosh. And then Ambush blew it up. They find Corey Dahl. Good hustle back, but the foul is going to be called.
Shane Butler, the referee, right on top of the play, felt Nelson got him with that left hand.
Eder showing off his speed there. He is a speed burner. Almeida cracks one off the frame on the free kick restart. Oh, great try there by Almeida, just missing by centimeters.
Yeah, that ball was targeted for the upper left-hand corner, actually caught where the post and crossbar meets. Tremendous look by Almeida that time. He took a quick restart. I think he caught Diaz a little bit by surprise. And that would have been a spectacular finish there off the set piece.
Corey Dahl, St. Louis defender, called for a foul. Ambush defenders are going to have their work cut out for them today against the Wave. Milwaukee scored 65 goals on the year, make it 66 now, and they have yielded 62. And as Art mentioned on the pregame show, Ambush have only scored 39 coming in, so they've got 40 now, but they have yielded a total of 69 now.
In order for the Ambush to win this game, it's going to need to be a low-scoring game. The way they're playing defensively, dropping back into their own half of the field, trying to minimize the space. They're going to have to rely on the counterattacks and being efficient on their set pieces.
Two other games on the MASL slate tonight. Baltimore Blast will be hosting the Dallas Sidekicks, and the Tacoma Stars entertaining Baja Atletico at the ShoWare Center in Kent, Washington, midway between Seattle and Tacoma. Of course, the interest in Seattle, maybe a little more focused on the Seahawks tonight. They'll be hosting the Detroit Lions in the first round of the NFL playoffs. Packers, of course, playing tomorrow when they take on the Giants at Lambeau Field. Right now, it's the Wave and the Ambush, with the sole focus of the MASL activity right now. Ian Bennett, who has the Wave goal, touches back for Daniel Matos, looking to the post. There's Andre Hain. Andre getting muscled out that time by Dowell. Wave still with the possession. And Andre, big, strong guy in his second year out of Lindenwood University in St. Charles, Missouri.
And the Wave targets and second forwards have yet to spin that defender and try to get to the back wall with it.
As you said, that's what Coach Oliviero talked about, what he's hoping to see from his target guys.
You know, this is very reminiscent of the Syracuse game where the Wave with good patience on the ball, but where you need to get to is extend that score line.
Now Hain gets it back to the near corner, double team. Chamale with it. Swings it across Matos. He'll load one up with the left foot. That one just wide. Matos following it in. Bennett hemmed in the corner. And the Ambush able to extricate itself.
In a situation like this, Tom, you've got to have the mindset that you need a goal. It's the last minute of play, and you've got to win the game. The longer this game goes and it's close,
the more confidence the Ambush is going to generate.
The pressure really comes to the Wave because the Wave is, supposed to win this game.
Ferdinand tried to slot it in the middle for Renault. Broken up, and now Clark covers up.
The Wave has got to play with an urgency. They have to be urgent in their approach. Try to put this game away.
Clark able to find Schmerman coming up the near wing. Richard Schmerman plays one in off the end board. Hundelt battling along with Matos. Kostakis down the corner for the Ambush. Chamale trying to body him up there. Hundelt comes away with it and played it to the middle, but fortunately for the Wave, Patterson there to clear it away. Now Tony hemmed to the near side as Hundelt and Kostakis work to get it back for St. Louis. Schmerman, the Ambush's leading scorer with 9 points, has it taken away. Renault back the other way. Finds Ferdinand on the far wing. Max tracks it down in front of Corey Adamson. Fast-moving first period here so far. 2.5 to go. Tied at 1. Ian Bennett scoring for the Wave is league leading 30th at 419. Corey Adamson answering with his 6th of the year at 806. And that's where we are right now.
In that Syracuse game, Tom, you never really had the feeling that the Wave was in trouble. Their possession was fantastic. They were just dominating the time of possession. They had a 1-goal lead throughout. And then all of a sudden, the game changed in the fourth, and the Wave found themselves losing the game 6-3.
Well, and again, a good example of what happens. A couple of penalties against the Wave, as Bennett with a nice move, just missing. Syracuse capitalized, scored both times on the power play, and all of a sudden they had the lead, and Wave just unable to come back. Nelson trying to send one in off the board, but right
There
to the
you go.
goalkeeper, Clark.
First time the Wave spun to the back wall. That time Nelson didn't have a real good angle to play it around the boards.
Takata trying to move it up. Mattingly poked away, but Schmerman will get it. Launches downfield. Broken
that's
up.
a 2-minute penalty right
Stewart
there.
Grable
Wow.
taking the shoulder from Mattingly.
Not sure how that's not a 2-minute penalty. Mattingly nowhere near the ball that time.
Well, he's trying to be apologetic, but just
Giuliano
based on the hit.
Oliviero, the Wave coach, livid down on the Wave bench. Watch this again. Look at that. He's not even anywhere near the ball. I'm not sure how that's not 2 minutes.
Wow. Hopefully Stewart's going to be okay. Second-year man out of Neenah, Wisconsin, former UWGB star. And he's been playing pretty well for the Wave as of late. Ferdinand drops it back. Now Hain will move it to Chamali. St. Louis packing it in here in the first period. Takata plays it ahead. Here's Koyakov. Trying to see if he could fire one through, but it was blocked, picked up by Diaz. Out on the wing for Ricardo. Pressured by McGregor, gets it back. Now Koyakov. Plays it off on the far wall. Diaz, good read there as he steps out to play it away. Raphael in his first year with the Wave after playing with the now defunct Detroit Wasaflow last year. Both he and Josh Lemos, the Wave's other goalkeeper, who's not dressed for today in their first seasons with the Wave. Well, that'll do it for the first period. And at the end of our first 15 minutes, it's the Wave 1, Ambush 1. We'll be back with more. This is Wave Soccer.
Wave fans, make some noise!
Take a miracle, looking like plays it in, headed down, Marcial across, shot a goal!
Oh my,
Yes!
this is going to be something else. This is going to be something else, Tom. I don't know if they can go to instant replay, but I don't know if that ball was in before that horn sounded. It was extremely close.
And the shot save Warburg, and he punches away.
Been off his line way early, but Blue Odd scores anyway.
Badger Max, for those who thirst for a championship. Made with all natural flavors and premium ingredients. Rehydrate, recharge, and boost your performance. Badger Max, drink it to the max. Find Badger Max at these fine retailers.
Ready to start the second period here from Milwaukee. Tied up at 1 between the Wave and the Ambush. Tom Wynn, along with Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer, bringing you all the play-by-play action here. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first period as after the pregame. Koyakov coming close but missing. Max Ferdinand, great setup there to Ian Bennett after Max made a sensational move at the top of the area to get around the defender. So that put the Wave up 1-0. To get another look at it, Ian Bennett with his 30th of the year, the league's leading goal scorer. Ian now with a total of 16 goals in his last 3+ games. And then Ambush eventually tied up on a goal by Corey Adamson at 8:06. Cody Kostakis got the assists. Wave moving it right to left as we look at the action here in the second period. Art, some of your thoughts on the first period?
Well, if you're St. Louis, you got to be very pleased. Coming in here 1-8 and coming out of the first quarter 1-1. And they, once again, took the blueprint from Syracuse, dropped back into their own half of the field, make it difficult. And the Wave yet to prove that they've got a solution for this right now.
Andre Hain trying to maneuver there, pokes away. And eventually the Ambush move it upfield. Garcia on the move. Little touch for San Luis, but just behind him. Wave will move it up. Rampa looks up for Hain. Andre, who's been plagued by an ankle injury so far this year, trying to work 1-on-4 as he comes into the attacking zone.
Good job that time by St. Louis to come in and double team Hain. You said it, Tom, trying to go 1-on-4. Gave away possession.
Adamson against Chamale. Good job there by Daniel to cut him off. Starts it back the other way. Played square to Ferdinand. Tell you, between periods, Art, they were checking down with Doreen Michaels in the PCI fan zone. Somehow we got to be able to work a deal to do a broadcast from down there.
Yeah. Or maybe I just go down there. You stay up here. I can go down there and mic me up.
And enjoy the buffet
like
down there.
Tony Siragusa, right?
Oh, my goodness. Can you imagine if we had Siragusa as a sideline reporter down there?
I don't think there'd be much of the buffet
No,
left,
not
though.
too much
Tony
at all.
was down there.
Not too much at all. Just underway, second period. Tied at 1. Again, the Wave in 12 lifetime appearances against the Ambush is 12-0. St. Louis has never beaten Milwaukee. Wave 1-0 against the Ambush so far this year. But no, nice pass. Ferdinand lays it across. And the shot off target by Stuart Grabe, or by Matos.
I'm not sure if that ball was deflected in front, but Ferdinand put it right on the platter for Matos. Right on his left foot, too. He's a natural lefty.
Oh, my goodness. I got to believe Daniel would want that one back. Still tied at 1. McGregor starts to push it upfield. Lanky defender lays it off. San Luis drives one off the end panel. Far side. Now Hans Dennison comes up with it for Milwaukee. Hans, Dutch native, second-year veteran. Back in the lineup here today. Vandergriff will work it over to Matos, and now back to Vandergriff as Daniel goes off for a change.
And obviously there's a long way to go here, Tom. 11.5 left in the second quarter, but the Wave has got to play with urgency. The mindset's got to be, we're in the final minute of the game and we're down 1. We need to score.
Oh, what a try there by Andre Hain on the bicycle attempt. A bit ambitious, would have been spectacular had he bagged that one.
Well, not as spectacular as in the last game, Tom, when we saw the double bicycle kick with two players simultaneously. A little synchronized soccer.
Yeah, that was incredible. As you said, Art, the bicycle built for two. First time either one of us had ever seen that. And had the Mustangs actually scored on that play, that would have been goal of the season for sure, maybe goal of the century. Trying to think, was that Ortega and Vaca both on that particular attempt? But they both got a piece of it and just missed. Would have had to split the goal.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
Oh, sent in front and a great chance. Carlos Contreras setting up, was that Koyakov in front? So both teams now have missed wide open opportunities in the middle of the box as Clark had to come out to thwart the Wave counterattack. Well, the score is 1-1. It easily could be 2-2. This is Hain with the bicycle attempt. And really not a bad try there by Andre. Certainly ambitious.
Well, there you go. That's what to say. You said it, ambitious. Good for style points, not necessarily as far as the decision making. Had time to bring it down.
A little bit of a treat for the fans on hand here today. Garcia heads that one back in for San Luis. Stefan San Luis for the St. Louis Ambush. Garcia trying to find San Luis again. This time he does in the far corner, working against Tenzin Rampa. Tenzin and Stefan, teammates for the last 1.5 seasons here in Milwaukee.
St. Louis now controlling the time of possession here early in the second quarter.
For now, anyway, the Ambush has asserted fairly decent control of this game. Again, they're 0-4 on the road this year. And their best chance for a win was when they went to Chicago and had the Mustangs, had the lead on the Mustangs in the fourth period of that one before Chicago rallied to win it 6-5.
Speaking to Tony Glavin, the St. Louis head coach, and Jamie Swanner, the assistant coach, they felt like their talent's really good. They got some good talent on this team. It's just, and their training sessions have been very sharp, very good. He said, coach said that it's some stage fright there when they get into the games, that they just haven't been able to get results and play as well in games as they have in training.
Whistle on the field. Blue card displayed. I believe we're going to have the Ambush for too many men on the field. That was the foul on Schmerman prior to that. Or perhaps a substitution warning after the, but I thought Shea Butler held up the blue card.
St. Louis has 4 field players and then the goalkeeper, so, but no one in the box serving a penalty right now.
So perhaps just a substitution warning, as you cannot substitute on a foul. There you're going to look at Kyle Trimble, the Grafton native, veteran official, going over to explain things to the Ambush bench. So the Ambush will have to wait till the ball's put back in play before they can get the additional player back on the field.
Well, you get 1 warning, and then the second time you would be assessed a penalty.
Nelson pressuring Takada, drops it back for Clark. Clark's distribution, as you might imagine for a rookie keeper, hasn't been the best this year, but he's looked okay so far today. Much better than what we saw the first time.
Well, they haven't put him in difficult positions close to his own goal, and every time it comes back to him, if you'd notice, he's playing first-time balls forward. Last game, his first touch let him down, as it almost did there as well. But playing a little quicker once the ball comes his way, his speed of play is a little bit better today than it was in game 1. The other part of it, Tom, is you saw the St. Louis defenders were almost square to Clark on many occasions. The St. Louis defenders have now pushed forward.
Tenzin Rampa got called for the foul that time. It's a little jostling with his marker there. Wave will be in Chicago to take on the Mustangs this upcoming Saturday, January 14th at the Sears Center in Hoffman Estates. And then right back here to host the Baltimore Blasts Saturday, January 21st, 6 p.m. kickoff. Call the Wave office for tickets at 414-224-WAVE. That's 414-224-9283. You can also order online at MilwaukeeWave.com, your source for everything Wave. Summer camps, Wave gear, tickets, no matter what it is, go to MilwaukeeWave.com.
Wave finally wins possession. They've been defending for the last 3.5 minutes.
St. Louis has really turned around the time of possession here in the second period. Let's see if Milwaukee can get the attack rolling again. Hain with a turning shot wide. Now Matos trying to slide it back for Hain in the middle. Couldn't make the connection. Chamale, good job to keep the zone as he and Renault trying to control the possession. Ambush move it up. Adamson heading it back. Matos is there for the Wave. Now Renault. Here's Robert trying to get it on the left foot. And Almeida came up to defend. Caused the turnover there. And the Ambush dump it downfield.
You know, possession's important in both the indoor and outdoor game, Tom, but it's what you do with your possession in the indoor game that matters.
McGregor puts it across, shot in the goal as Vadim Kokeyev puts it in, and just like that, the Ambush grabbed the lead at 2-1. Time of the goal at 9:14. Well, the Ambush got a 3-on-2 coming in to the attacking zone. Watch Almeida lay it off, McGregor across.
Couldn't tell whether Kojakov touched it in at the far post. Saw Kojakov get position on Renault at the far post.
Second of the year in 7 games for Kojakov, with McGregor getting the assist as he gets his first point of the season. And St. Louis takes its first lead of the contest at 2-1. Kojakov is a guy who's been coming on a bit for the Ambush as of late. Originally from the Republic of Moldova, and attended East Central College in Union, Missouri. That was his first 2 years in school. Then he moved on to Columbia College. 42 goals at East Central, 20 at Columbia. So, you know, the guy can find the back of the net. And I would think right about now, Coach Oliviero is delivering a pretty stern message to the boys.
It's actually Daniel Matos who's the one that's delivering the message down in the Wave huddle right now. And once again, it's like Syracuse, they utilize the same low pressure defense against you. You don't execute. You got to come out and play with urgency to put this game away. I know it's easier said than done, but you have got to play every shift like you're down 1 in the last minute.
Take a look at some of the second period highlights so far. Again, this game was tied up 1-1 at the end of first. Wave actually scored the first goal of the contest. Ian Bennett, his league-leading 30th of the year on the assist from Max Ferdinand with his league-leading 17th assist. But since then, all Ambush. Goals by Adamson and Koyakov. Each team has missed a 99% chance in front of its net. So it could easily be 3-2 instead of 2-1. But for the most part, this has not been a high-tempo game. Matos at midfield. Looking on the wing, Hundelt there to break it up for the Ambush. Ferdinand cut off on the far wall. And the ambush start back now. Dennison pokes it away from San Luis. Grable over to Matos. Matos will start it back. Daniel Matos, who began his collegiate career at Penn State and then finished up at West Florida before breaking into this league with the Detroit Waza Flow the last couple of years. All right, here's Ian Bennett. Trying to get in for Hain, being bodied up that time by Corey Dowell. Certainly Dowell played against Hain enough in practice last year. I'm sure he knows what he's got to do back there to defend the big guy. Diaz. Hain across looking for Nelson. Ambush trying to clear the zone, kept in. Now Nelson along the end board, trying to send it across, but Clark is there to gobble it up.
Like to see the big fellow Hain get his foot on the ball down in the deep in the attacking zone. We saw before he tried the bicycle kick. Right there, he tries a head ball. You got a frame of what, 6'2", 6'3", one of the biggest players on the pitch. Get your body, get the ball down, use your body, let the runners run off of you. I think that's how he can learn to be effective in this game.
Take a look at a couple of tapes of Todd Dusowski.
Yeah, that would be helpful as well.
Todd, one half of the Waves twin tandem, which include his brother Troy. Both numbers hang from the rafters here at the UWMP Arena.
Not sure those VHS tapes work anymore, though, Tom.
Yeah, good luck trying to.
Unless they converted those to DVD.
Good luck trying to find a VHS recorder. You're probably one of the last remaining people, Art, who actually knows how to work on those things.
Well, you go to Goodwill, you can find a couple of those recorders. And some 8-track cassette tapes.
Oh. I think we're definitely dating ourselves here with the audience. Renault.
Put a Tony Robbins cassette into my cassette player on the way down here, by the way. How's that for dating myself?
McGregor has it poked away. Wave, I'm sure, maybe getting a little bit frustrated.
My daughter asked me to change the track on the DVD, and I had to just fast forward the cassette. She didn't even know. I said, I'll do that, honey. Hang on. Took about 2 minutes to fast forward it.
We talked about the Wave going to Chicago for their next game and then back here to host Baltimore on January 21st. The Ambush heads to Lakeland, Florida, take on the Florida Tropics. They'll have back-to-back games in Lakeland next Friday and Sunday, 13th and 15th, respectively. Now Hain, turning shot, but couldn't get it on target. And
kind of a theme there, Tom. Couldn't get it on target. A lot of chances this season so far for Andre Hain. One of the areas he's got to work on is putting the ball on frame when he gets opportunities.
Less than 2 minutes ago, first half. This game certainly not evolving the way the Wave was hoping, but as we prefaced at the beginning of this game, Art, you know, St. Louis not coming in here to lay down, that's for sure. And you got to give Tony Glavin, his players, a lot of credit for executing the game plan exceptionally well right now. But we still got another half plus a minute 38 here in the first half to go.
It's going to be interesting to hear what Coach Giuliano Oliviero has for Van McNeil at halftime.
Contreras, bombing over at midfield. That's going to be a handball on Hans Dennison. Carlos Contreras, 4 goals and assists so far this year for the Ambush. They've got about, a third of their roster left over from last year. And everybody else new, but tell you some of the newer players here. Art Almeida, Garcia. Looks like some pretty good talent.
Well, their talent level's good. Tony Glavin talked about the change in ownership really kind of put them behind the 8 ball. Even though he had come in the last third of the season and took over for Daryl Duran, he said that it was unknown whether they were coming back this season, and a lot of time was invested just making sure they had ownership in place.
Yeah, really couldn't get organized in the offseason like Tony was hoping to. San Luis able to get away from Chamale. Good help by Nelson initially, came right back to San Luis, but his shot is high.
Talked about Andre Haynes struggling to hit the target, and that's one of the things that's kind of hampered Stephon St. Louis, is his ability to hit the target when he gets opportunities.
Well, he had a very frustrating year offensively last year for the Wave. But we've seen Stephon certainly have his offensive moments. And again, good, hard-working player, both ends of the field.
You know, as a former forward, Tom, I was always concerned when I didn't get chances to score. I knew if I was getting chances, I was eventually going to score, because my mindset is low, hard, and hit the frame, put it on target. So St. Louis had a number of opportunities last season where just could not put the ball on frame. And seeing some of the same things with Andre Haynes this year for the Wave.
Final 15 seconds as saw Daniel Matos get called for the foul on the previous sequence. Clark to midfield. Chamale will wheel it in now. Ferdinand trying to see if he could one-time one at the buzzer, but couldn't quite get it. So
good ball by Chamale there. Looked like the half was going to run out, but Max had time to finish that one. 0.5 left on the clock right now.
And as soon as Clark throws it in, that's going to do it. So that's the end of our first 30 minutes of play. And after Milwaukee got the first goal from Ian Bennett, St. Louis came back with the other two from Adamson and Kolyakov. And as they go to the locker room at halftime, it is St. Louis 2, Milwaukee 1. This is Wave Soccer.
Our Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital Coaches Corner with head coach Giuliano Oliviero. 1-2 down here going into the half. What do you think?
We're fortunate we got another 30 minutes ahead of us. It wasn't our best soccer. We didn't show a lot of energy. We didn't play with a lot of smarts, and we need to make a couple adjustments coming out in the second half.
So what do you tell the guys going into this? You motivate them and keep it positive?
We'll keep it positive for the most part, but they need to know that's not good enough. And it wasn't good enough 30 minutes, and again, we got 30 more minutes to get it right.
Okay, we'll make those adjustments. Thank you, head coach Giuliano Oliviero, the Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital Coaches Corner. Today's presenting game sponsor. More of the halftime show coming up right after this.
Wave fans, make some noise!
Take a miracle, looking like plays it in, headed down, Marcial across, shot a goal!
Oh my,
yes!
This is going to be something else. This is going to be something else, Tom. I don't know if they can go to instant replay, but I don't know if that ball was in before that horn sounded. It was extremely close, man.
And the shot saved Warburg, and he punches away.
Been off his line way early, but Blue Wad scores anyway.
Badger Max, for those who thirst for a championship. Made with all natural flavors and premium ingredients. Rehydrate, recharge, and boost your performance. Badger Max, drink it to the max. Find Badger Max at these fine retailers.
Why are you here? Do you have a mission? At Cardinal Stritch University, we'll help you find it. We believe it's our job to help people grow in their mind and heart while preparing them for a career. In fact, our undergraduates earn an average salary of $51,000, which is far more than most colleges and universities in Wisconsin. Find out what Stritch has to offer you. Now's the time to visit our campus for one of our upcoming events. We're here to help. After all, we make it our mission to help you find yours. Visit go.stritch.edu/events today.
Go where the pros go for chiropractic care, massage therapy, and exercise rehabilitation. Goodyear Chiropractic Health Center, the official chiropractor and massage therapist for the Milwaukee Wave.
What others see is not a reflection of who I really am.
Pain from everyday wear and tear? That's not gonna stop me.
That younger me, she's still in there.
With uncompromising orthopedic expertise, we make sure the state of your body matches your state of mind.
Professional Construction Incorporated is a full-service construction company serving residential and commercial clients in the southeastern Wisconsin area. You can depend on Professional Construction Incorporated for new home construction, home remodeling including kitchen and bathrooms, and home additions like garages, basements, window and door installation, and more. From start to finish, Professional Construction Incorporated can assist you and customize any project. Call 262-363-0886 or visit wipci.com.
If Pat or somebody else was still coming up to
For him here tonight.
Stuart Grable lays it on two, and Almeida comes in with a shot. Save. Shot on the other side, and Adamson. First Duke, then SMU. And ahead to the left side, and just like that. First Duke, then SMU. And ahead to the left side. And just like that. First Duke, then SMU. And ahead to the left side. And just like that. Clark steps up, lost the touch, pushed off the play, and a bouncing shot. Clark steps up, lost the touch, pushed off the play, and a bouncing shot. Really come through experience a lot of times. Here's Dennison coming in. And it comes. And Tosh, they always look easier from up here, though, don't they? There's a shot and a goal by Matos. Beautiful feed from Max Ferdinand, and the Wave leads it 4-1. They always look easier from up here, though, don't they? There's a shot and a goal by Matos. Beautiful feed from Max Ferdinand, and the Wave leads it 4-1. They always look easier from up here, though, don't they? There's a shot and a goal by Matos. Beautiful feed from Max Ferdinand, and the Wave leads it 4-1. Broadcast now, takeaway, walking in, shot and a goal, Ian Bennett! Broadcast now, takeaway, walking in, shot and a goal, Ian Bennett! If Pat or somebody else was still coming up to at 36 seconds against the Syracuse Silver Knights as they Renault turns, shoots, just back that one down as he got cut off along the boards. Ball pops out, shot and goal!
In the fourth period, they were up by 2.
Back in 99-2000.
Go take a whirlpool.
There's a great crack. To back, Ricardo. Nelson fires.
Track all that.
Right to left. Quick shot taken by Louis, turning. Rolls one wide left. Rebound, foul. Contreras turning campaign. Matos lays it off. Centering for campaign. Matos lays it off. Centering for campaign. Matos lays it off. Centering for Ferdinand lays it off. Wave.com. Nelson got away from the defender. Here he comes, one-on-one against the keeper. Shot and a goal. Nice finish there by Eder Nelson. And Milwaukee. Wave.com. Nelson got away from the defender. Here he comes, one-on-one against the keeper. Shot and a goal. Nice finish there by Eder Nelson. And Milwaukee. Wave.com. Nelson got away from the defender. Here he comes, one-on-one against the keeper. Shot and a goal. Nice finish there by Eder Nelson. And Milwaukee. Vandegrift clears. Ambush sent it right back in. Be around 11 or 12. So, oh, what a ball there.
You know, they've had some really, really good ones.
Burko. And as we start the fourth period,
a veteran player.
Corey Dahl with a sliding out to keep the zone for St. Louis. And
showing some resolve here in the fourth.
Burko shot knocked down. Good fourth quarter team so far this year. Score time, so Penn State did come back with a touchdown. Oh, look at Ferdinand. Halftime, so Penn State did come back with a touchdown. Oh, look at Ferdinand. Halftime, so Penn State did come back with a touchdown. Oh, look at Ferdinand.
Different styles.
Contreras with a
time about the process.
And Corey. Renault will slide it. Bennett looking for number 5. There it is. Renault will slide it. Bennett looking for number 5. There it is.
Badger Max, for those who thirst for a championship. Made with all natural flavors and premium ingredients. Rehydrate, recharge, and boost your performance. Badger Max, drink it to the max. Find Badger Max at these fine retailers.
Just wrapping up our halftime festivities here from the UW-Milwaukee Panther Arena as we look ahead to the third period of action between the Milwaukee Wave and the St. Louis Ambush. Welcome back once again, fans. Tom Wynn along with the Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer. 2-1, the Ambush lead it as they rallied back from a 1-0 deficit to grab a 2-1 lead. And from what we could ascertain, Arts have executed their game plan very well so far here.
Yeah, and really no surprise because we saw Syracuse come in with the same game plan and do the same thing. And you heard Giuliano Oliviero at the break with Van McNeil, and he said it wasn't good enough, that the energy level wasn't good enough, but also they didn't play with the intelligence they needed to get it done so far. So the big question for me is, okay, who's going to provide the energy and how's that going to come? What specifics? As you can say, well, we need more energy, but what players are going to provide that? Is it going to be Ian Bennett, Max Ferdinand? Who are the guys that are going to bring the energy that transforms through the rest of the team? And so the only way you get energy in indoor soccer, Tom, is to put the ball in the back of the net. They've got to play with the urgency every shift. And if you go off after a shift and you haven't scored a goal, or your line hasn't scored a goal, you got to be disappointed with that.
Coach Oliviero talked about making some adjustments, but perhaps more inspirational than tactical.
But I think a little bit of both, right? You're going to go in there and you say, guys, this isn't good enough. We've got to play with more urgency. They've got to play quicker. And so the adjustment would be, we've got to play faster. We're taking too much time on the ball, receiving, and then kind of lounging on the ball. They got to get it and play quicker, move the ball faster, but also spin and attack that back wall and get a lot of pressure in front of Casey Clark. You look at the stats, Tom, the Wave has 4 shots on goal. 4. Against a team that's dropping back into their own half of the field. There's got to be pressure on young Casey Clark in the form of balls off the wall, runners in front of the box, shots from outside. It's got to be faster, and there's got to be more urgency.
Pressure and urgency. 2 words that come to the forefront here for the second half of the Milwaukee Wave. And we are underway. St. Louis with the possession. They go right to left as we look at it. Again, the Ambush 0-1 against the Wave this year, 0-12 all time in the 3+ seasons they battled the Wave. Of course, if you go back to the St. Louis Ambush teams of the 90s, they had a few victories against the Wave, had a lot of victories against the Wave, as a matter of fact. Still hard to believe, Art, that it was 19 years ago as shot there taken by Diaz, that the Wave defeated the St. Louis Ambush for its first championship ever.
I was going to say they had 1 win against us in that series. We beat them 4-1 in 1998 finals. They won game number 4 in St. Louis. We were up 3-0. They got game number 4. We came back and won game number 5 for the first championship, as you said.
There is Max Ferdinand. Touching off for Matos. Back for Max. Looks to Matos. Turns. Trying to touch it back for
That's a great example, though, right there, Tom. We get the ball deep into Matos, and where does he go? He goes back with it. Instead of turning to the boards, he had Ferdinand running into the box. Got to turn your hips and face goal.
Well, if Milwaukee could get that next goal, maybe the floodgates will open up, but they are having a battle trying to produce it right now. Andre Hain sends one in over the top of the crossbar, but Wave unable to convert, and now Clark going to gobble that one up on the ball sent back in by Stuart Grable.
That ball by Hain hugged the wall. It went over the top of Clark's head, but Grable unfortunately couldn't nudge it in at the back post.
Nice 1-2 there as Adamson works it up ahead to McGregor. Sliding effort by Grable, though, keeps him from breaking into the zone. You can sense from the crowd, Art, it's a little bit apprehension right now. They
Well, the ones that are the Wave faithful, the people that are here game in and game out, they've seen this act before, right? They saw it a few weeks ago against Syracuse.
Chamali comes up with it from Milwaukee. And now Matos. Move it up on the near wing. Vandegrift drives one in far post. Good look there. Just bit in front of Ronell. San Luis back the other way. Nelson cuts it off, and it'll be a kick in for St. Louis.
He set a good look by Vandegrift. A good positive first touch to turn his hips, face the St. Louis goal, and go forward quickly.
Vandegrift chests that one down. Wave starts back. Dennis, a nice pitch. Nelson coming in. And a great sliding effort by the 35-year-old Chris Mattingly to knock it away. Excellent reaction there by Mattingly. Great look by Dennison. What a touch to Nelson, who was coming down the middle.
And that's that playing a little quicker that we talked about. You said it, the first touch that time by Dennison to free up Nelson, but a great recovery run that time by Mattingly.
So the Wave cycles the possession back in its defensive half.
You just watch every touch now, Tom. 1, 2, 3. Got to stay away from those type of possessions where you're caught for 3 or 4 seconds in possession of the ball. Move it quick.
Teams will wrap up their regular season series January 22nd in St. Louis, actually at the Family Arena in St. Charles, Missouri, which is the home of the Ambush. Wave will be at Chicago next Saturday, the 14th, at the Sears Center in Hoffman Estates, Illinois. Then back here to host Baltimore 2 weeks from today, January 25th at 6 p.m. Call the Wave office 414-224-WAVE to order tickets, or look them up at MilwaukeeWave.com. Rampa trying to overlap on the attack. Got the shot off, but Clark able to make the save there. Now good pressure from Hain on the pass upfield by Schmerman, but deflects into the stands. And then the Wave goes to St. Louis the following day on the 22nd to battle the Ambush. That's a 3 o'clock game. Ambush will be home against Harrisburg on the 20th, so they'll be resting up and waiting for the Wave as pressure there causes a turnover.
But that's the first time that the St. Louis defenders have gone square with Clark, and Clark played it out square to that defender. He got himself in trouble, and right away, the Wave with a good opportunity at the top of the arc. First one of the day for him.
Yeah, I was going to say, Art, I'm hard-pressed to think of
they haven't had any restart.
Any restart chance, no matter where it comes from. And it comes, and a shot by Bennett. Deflected away.
The Wave taking a little bit different approach that time. They had Matos come from the right and play a little square ball. It was actually a little diagonal ball forward to Bennett. Ball just got blocked by the St. Louis defender.
Renault tried to lay it off near side. Dylan Hundelt was there to break it up for St. Louis. Now San Luis able to get away from Ferdinand, who was defending him at midfield, and eventually foul going to be called on San Luis.
Talk about that last Wave restart, Tom, and you saw Joe Hamas score the game-winning goal against Baltimore years ago. Here's the foul that just occurred. But that ball was laid diagonally forward. I'll hold my thought here.
Kokayov charging in. Actually, a good read that time by Diaz to come out and knock it away after Kokayov had
Kojakov there down.
Yeah, and they'll have to check him out.
I was going to say about that restart, Tom, you saw Joe Hamas score the game winner for the Wave to win the championship against the Baltimore, I believe it was, when Terminesi gave him the ball. But I like that ball going square instead of going diagonally forward. They tried to get a little bit closer to the goal. You saw right there, Diaz and Kojakov.
Yeah, he took one on the top of his foot there. Hopefully going to be okay. We did not see Kojakov the first time, Art, but it looks like he's provided a bit of a spark here for the Ambush. Decent size and some pretty good speed and intensity out there. So that could be a notable injury going forward in this game.
St. Louis has done a good job of trying to get the initial counter, but if it's not on, they've been backing it out and keeping possession very effectively here through the first 2 quarters and 5 minutes.
So Garcia step up and drive one into the stands. Kind of the old Dino Delevsky, let it rip from midfield.
Yeah, Dino was a little bit more accurate than that, though. The reigning MVP, former MVP, I should say. Tremendous goal scorer.
Ferdinand to Bennett. Ian walking in. Shot saved by Clark. And then follow up by Grable. Could not steer it into the nets. Ferdinand lays it off near side. Matos. Follow up. Covered up by Clark.
And Clark might have made that save. You see him down at the near post, but 2 good saves that time from Casey Clark. Really the best flurry of the afternoon so far from the Wave here.
Well, Ferdinand with a good shift to create a couple of chances. Just unlucky that Milwaukee could not finish one of those. Clark under pressure. You can expect the Wave to really start ratcheting up the pressure on the goalkeeper when he's handling it.
Well, St. Louis causing their own issues right now by trying to play out of the back with Casey Clark. Didn't see them try that the whole first 2 quarters. Very successful of not putting Clark under pressure.
Renault, Jamale Renault. A couple of Canadian rookies exchanging the ball there. Corey Dow trying to stay with Renault. Now Bennett turns, fires the left footer, save Clark. Good job as he covered up the short side.
And there's your adjustment right there. You saw Ian do it. He receives and spins immediately and was able to create a good opportunity.
Nelson's entry pass deflected away, and he's going to get 2 minutes as he came over and chopped down Stefan San Luis. You see Stefan is in some pain there. Awkward challenge by Nelson to try to get it back.
Yeah, you know, was a foul the first part, but then he followed through with the right foot. And that's where the blue card comes out.
7 minutes the time of the penalty as Eder Nelson will go for tripping.
And if the ambush converts here on the power play, the Wave is going to find themselves in a very dangerous position here.
Yeah, I would agree, Art, because goals very tough to come by with the pace of this game right now. First, they got to try and stop him. Milwaukee, a pretty decent penalty killing so far this year, above 50%. Ambush converting at about 30% on their power play opportunities. Schmerman fires one in and cleared out.
Excuse me, Tom, if you're Ian Bennett, who plays that top of the Wave man down unit, you're thinking to yourself, this would be a great time to notch a shorthanded goal. Just from a psychological standpoint, what that would do for this team.
Still a minute 15 to go, man advantage St. Louis. Well, San Luis still out there, so it's good to see Stefan is okay. And that ball crawls on top of the shelf. It'll go into the stands, and we will have our media timeouts. St. Louis still with a minute 5 to go on the power play. Boy, you've alluded to it a couple times at our broadcast start. This is hauntingly similar to that. And again, the Wave just has not been able to stand prosperity for the first half of the season. Every time their backs are against the wall, they come up with a big win, as they did in Baltimore earlier this year, as they did against Chicago a couple of times this year, but have not been able to build any momentum. Only 1 2-game winning streak. I guess that's kind of the definition of a 500 team, but kicking off the second half of the season, and probably, as you said, got to win 8 of your final 10 to try to find your way in the playoffs. Again, top 2 teams in each division will qualify. And this is a very critical game to get off to a good start for the second half of the season.
Well, not many people expected Cedar Rapids to be in the hunt here. And that's what really poses the major problem for the Wave. It's not just Chicago and Kansas City they're chasing. it's also Cedar Rapids. So you're talking about another team that you got to jump over to get into the playoffs.
We gave you the Central Division standings before. Cedar Rapids topping at 8-3. Wave is 7-5 in fourth place. Other division leaders right now, Baltimore in the East at 6-3. Sonora in the Southwest at 8-1, and San Diego in the Pacific at 7-3, with a half-game lead over the Tacoma Stars at 6-3. St. Louis moving it right to left. They have the power play on still for another 45 seconds. Almeida running the point. San Luis and Sherman up top with Takata and Adamson down low. Bennett, Vandegrift, Grable, and Rampa, the penalty killers for the Wave. Bouncing shot by Schmerman, and good stop there by Diaz. Wave shorthanded for another 20 seconds. Here comes Vandegrift. Chad with a hat trick, his first 3 goals of the year in the last game. Ian Bennett trying to work his way inside the area, couldn't do it. And Almeida has it. That will now give the Ambush just 5 seconds left on their power play. So Wave is going to kill this one off, which, to say the least, very important PK at this juncture of the game.
Wave calling for six men on the field, but it wasn't.
It wasn't, although Stefan San Luis did not know the ball was getting played to him as he went off, but nonetheless, all worked out for St. Louis. Andre Hain way out near midfield to receive that one, and he drew the foul. Probably not a great foul there by Takata, fouling Hain way out beyond the line. There really wasn't much he was going to do there. And in the MASL, you get 3 personal fouls in each half. On your 4th, your team gives up a 2-minute power play. Has not been a particularly busy day for the officials, Shane Butler and Kyle Trimble so far. Players police themselves pretty well here up to this point.
Anytime you get a team that drops back and makes the field small, you're not going to have as much contact.
Vandegrift turning shot, deflected away. Hain trying to get it back, but Dylan Hundelt is there to get it for St. Louis. And back comes the ambush. Takata up for Almeida. Could not keep the possession there, and rolls to Diaz. Rafael getting the start today. His 4th start of the year, 0-3 with a 7.28 goals against average. Probably having his best game of the season so far today. Be nice if the Wave could reward him with a victory. Chamali will move it across near side, Tony Patterson. Dennison to Renault. St. Louis keeping all 5 defenders behind the line most of the time when the Wave has it. Matos over to Chamale. Matos will get it back. His shot blocked by Adamson.
And it's all 2-touch or more for the Wave right now. It's not seeing any 1-touch passing that's going to.
St. Louis, a pretty good team as far as blocking shots. In fact, Chris Mattingly is the league's leading shot blocker with 29 coming in. Contrast that with the Wave, Chamale and Vandegrift, 9 blocks each. Of course, Ambush has probably faced a lot more shots against, generally speaking.
Let's just be honest about it, Tom. If you're going to talk about block shots in this league, it's not very accurate. And I say that by watching a lot of games.
Renault looking for Ferdinand. Max tracks it down in the corner. Dispossessed there. Now a bad touch. His Ferdinand shot is blocked. Vandegrift gets it back. Chad tries to send it back in. Still battling down there, but the ambush is going to clear. Up for San Luis. That one bounces into the St. Louis bench. And again, the Wave thwarted in their attacking efforts.
one thing that does bode well for the Wave is the ambushes lack.
Ferdinand almost had a chance there after a misplay by Clark off the end board.
I was going to say their inability to get results. And so you just figure that if you can get it back to 2-2, you get this team in a situation where the game's tight, you probably got the advantage. Because they've got a lot of young players who, as Tony Glavin alluded to, have not been able to finish the games. They have a bit of stage fright, as he said it. But you got to get back to equal first.
Diaz now with it. Rafael, you probably saw, been pressing up in the attack a bit lately. Try to give the Wave a extra attacker at least up to the midfield area. Hain with a header just wide. Nice try. Andre follows. Shot to goal. That is a big goal for Andre Hain in the Wave, and they've tied it at 2-2.
You're exactly right, Tom. A big goal for the Wave and for that man, Andre Hain, it's been a long time coming, and hopefully that goal right there for Andre Hain not only energizes the Milwaukee Wave, but gets that big fella right there, number 99, Andre Hain, going.
His second of the year in 6 games, unassisted as he followed up his initial attempt. Check it out again, nice header initially.
And then he just wins the one-on-one battle with Schmerman right there in front. Schmerman unable to clear. Not a whole lot Casey Clark could do on that one.
So let's see if that turns the momentum Milwaukee's way. Clark sliding out on the challenge from Bennett and able to make the connection across with Kranz. Now, Dennison walking in, centering on the play. Bennett tripped down. Are they going to put it on the spot?
They're going to call top of the arc. The foul was committed inside the box, but referee Shane Butler ruling that it wasn't a clear goal-scoring opportunity, so it comes back to the top of the arc. Let's see if Giuliano Oliveira wants a timeout here. Big restart opportunity for the Wave.
Only the second attacking zone restart for the Wave so far today.
And Wave takes a timeout. They had Tenzin Rampa.
And again, with restarts coming at a premium, don't want to let this one go by the board, especially if you can generate a goal here at the end of the period, would really give the Wave some momentum.
Well, if I had a vote, Tom, what do you think I'd be voting for on this top of the arc restart? Any ideas?
Oh, double step over.
Let's come up and hammer one. Forget about the pass. Let's come up, have a couple guys run over, and let's rope one. Let's just rope one. See if Casey Clark can make a save.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that one, AK.
Sometimes you can outthink yourself here, overthink, try to draw up the perfect play, and sometimes the perfect play is to just have a guy run up and hammer it as hard as he can, hope for a little movement in the wall, understand you got an inexperienced goalie in front of you, probably going to have his hands down. Anything on frame is probably going in.
This is the foul that resulted in the top of the arc restart. And good call by Shane Butler. Probably wasn't.
Well, that's the foul call. I'm not sure why that's not a PK. That's a clear goal scoring opportunity.
Well, there was a lot of traffic in there.
So you see Rampa here up high, Tom, just to the right of Ferdinand. Watch Rampa run through, and then Matos, who's down low along the boards, probably going to circle around. This play's probably going to Daniel Matos over on this right side.
Double pass, and the shot by Bennett up in the stands. So Wave will get a corner kick here. Minute and a half left to go. There's Casey Clark. Clark, without having seen all of his games this year, I got to believe this is his best game up to this for 3 quarters. Vandegrift sneaks on for the Wave. Back heel, Bennett, shot, save! I don't know if Clark had a good look at that one, but he made a nice save.
Through traffic that time, Clark stood tall, got those hands down and made the save. Watch again, this one through traffic. St. Louis is teammate right in front.
St. Louis almost redirected it past, but a good save nonetheless. Another top of the arc restart for the Waves. Let's see if third time's the charm. It doesn't look like it. Sean Tosh with it here. Sean has had a quiet afternoon so far today. It seemed like he's been on the field too much.
Good news for the Wave is they are starting to generate a higher volume of restarts here. That's the fourth one here in the third quarter. They didn't have any in the first half.
Final 45 of the third period as Diaz launches long, headed away by San Luis. Ferdinand going to get called for a foul as he hip checked Mitchell Garcia into the boards. There you get a look at Max wearing that full 90 headgear as has been his trademark. Max originally from Reading, Pennsylvania. Chamale at midfield. Garcia got it back now. Matos finds Nelson, but the Ambush get it back. Takata with a touch. Adamson walking in. Adamson shot, save, Diaz, rebound, foul, they score. Well, they basically had a 3-on-1, and they convert on the rebound as Carlos Contreras bangs it in. The assist will go to Adamson, and it's 3-2 St. Louis.
That play started in the Wave zone. I'm not sure why Chamale didn't head the ball back to Diaz so the Wave could keep possession. And then Chamale took a chance and tried to win the ball, which created a 3-on-0. And the Ambush eventually capitalized. That's a huge goal just seconds before the break, when you could really sense the momentum had gone the Waves, was going the Waves' way.
So St. Louis takes a lead for the second time today. Contreras with his 5th goal of the season. Corey Adamson with his first assist. Adamson is out of the Ian Bennett School of Playmaking. They rarely are going to get assists unless it's a shot that's deflected over to one of their teammates who scores. Ian this year with 30 goals, which leads the league, but he only has 4 assists. As Renault pops one up in the stands. Well, we come to the final 15 minutes, and the Waves still trailing by 1. Don't go away, fans. Hopefully got a thrilling finish coming up here today. It's Milwaukee 3, St. Louis 2. This is Wave Soccer.
Go where the pros go for chiropractic care, massage therapy, and exercise rehabilitation. Goodyear Chiropractic Health Center, the official chiropractor and massage therapist for the Milwaukee Wave.
What others see is not a reflection of who I really am.
Pain from everyday wear and tear? That's not gonna stop me.
That younger me, she's still in there.
With uncompromising orthopedic expertise, we make sure the state of your body matches your state of mind.
Wave trying to see if they can come back from a 3-2 deficit in the fourth quarter. Here are some of the third quarter highlights. There was the game-tying goal by Andre Hain, his second of the year, unassisted. But then the ambush came back to get another one. Corey Adamson's shot saved by Rafael Diaz, but right there to put it in, Carlos Contreras. And so ambush quickly regaining the momentum. Tom went along with the Wave Hall of Famer Arth Kramer as we go to the fourth. We got a good game going here, Art, but right now for the Wave and its fans, kind of frustrating.
Yeah, the Wave out shooting the ambush 7-4 in that quarter, so better offensively, but still 1-1 on the scoreboard.
We saw Rafael Diaz pushing up a bit in the latter portion of the third period.
He's got to be careful though. He doesn't want to get caught because the way the ambush is playing defensively by dropping back, he's not going to be much of a factor offensively.
But I guess I was going to say it has maybe characterizes a bit of the urgency for the Wave, perhaps.
Well, they did. They played with more urgency. The problem was when they had the goal and they got the momentum, they allowed St. Louis to come right back, and it was really Chamale who made two mistakes on that shift, not heading the ball back to Diaz to keep possession, and then he made a poor choice to try to win the ball that created a numbers advantage for St. Louis. That's going to happen with young players, though, inexperienced players.
Ferdinand, little touch back. Here's Vandegrift. Looking for Nelson as they work it over to Ferdinand. Max goes off for a change with Andre Hain coming in, and he immediately gets it off the bench.
And I don't want to be redundant, Tom, but you cannot stress enough the importance of this game. The Wave cannot drop this game and expect to make the playoffs this season.
I would think that's a pretty fair assessment. We said coming in they probably got to go 8-2, and if they lose this one, that means you got to win 8 of your final 9. And
well, this is a game
4 of those are on the road.
This is a game that you have to win, and sometimes the games that you're expected to win are the hardest games to win. We're seeing that here this afternoon. It's not that the Wave took St. Louis lightly. I don't think that's the problem. It's just they didn't play intelligently enough in the first half. Now they're in a battle. Garcia
looks on the far wing for Takata. Takata's had a very active game today at midfield for the ambush. I think Tosha's trying to head it back to the keeper, but Hain was right there. Anyway, the Wave comes back, Ian Bennett. Ian wanted to take the shot, but lost the touch, and the ambush clear. Now Robert Renaud looks to the far corner.
Neither of us are.
.12.5 to go. Down the stretch at Milwaukee, Wave trailing 3-2. Renaud trying to turn. Shot, save Clark. Good turn, good shot, good save. Renaud with another chance, a bit off target. Well, Casey Clark has made some big saves today. There's no question about it.
Once again, that's that adjustment the Wave has made, is having their target players spin early. Good job by Renaud that time. Good save by Clark.
Casey Clark is coming of age in today's game. The rookie goalkeeper out of Doane College in Nebraska. The difference in his play between this game and the first game he played here last month in that 14-6 Wave victory is enormous.
And attribute a lot of that to the tactics that St. Louis has employed by not putting him in difficult positions. But you're right, his first touch has been better. His decision-making's been better, it's been quicker.
He's come close, but he hasn't really had the big turnover that could potentially turn the game in the Waves' favor. Ball deflected out, Ferdinand and the Wave will put it in. Now Max yielding for Tenzin Rampa.
I was going to say, Tom, one difference is that man right there that you see at the right hand of your screen, Jamie Swanner, on the bench for the Ambush. Jamie, a former goalkeeper of the year in the old NPSL.
Tenzin Rampa, boy, yeah, I was going to say if he didn't get 2 minutes, he was very lucky. He got the elbow up as San Luis was running past him. That whole sequence just didn't bode well. Max, they tried to clear up for Max to go 1-on-1. San Luis took it away, and then as he raced upfield, you look at Rampa, did not have the position there and pounding him right down in front of the St. Louis bench.
Well, a good job by Stefan St. Louis, experienced player, felt the contact and immediately went down along the boards. Got the call from Kyle Trimble.
Time of the penalty at 3:41 of the fourth period, and once again the Wave trying to see if they can kill off a power play, trailing by 1. And this time it is even more critical because now we're in the fourth period. A goal for St. Louis would be enormous for the Ambush. The way this game is going, you really wonder if the Wave could score 5 goals in this contest. So the best thing for Milwaukee is to keep it within 1, or even possibly get a shorthand goal.
As someone who used to kill penalties, I can tell you that it does wear you down as well. So these penalties, while the Ambush have an opportunity to score, it's also taking some of the energy out of the Wave players. Most notably Ian Bennett, who plays that point. You see him right there by the Wave yellow line. It's a guy you need to have energy scoring goals, not killing penalties right now at this stage of the game.
Schmerman takes the free kick and puts it just a bit off. He can hit the ball out from that point. So the Ambush at 1-8, 0-4 on the road. Trying to take charge here down the stretch with the power play. Still 30 seconds to go, and the man advantage for St. Louis. Driven in as Schmerman almost made the connection with Adamson. Now Vandegrift bobbing up against his former teammate there. Schmerman keeps his own. Wave breaks out of there, trying to come 2-on-3 on the shorthand bid with Bennett and Vandegrift. Bennett with a shot that deflects just wide. And San Luis somehow able to get it upfield. Penalty is over. Rampa comes out of the box. Dylan Hundelt with it for St. Louis.
Wave needs to get possession so they can get their man down unit a line change here. And now Vandegrift and Grable, at least Vandegrift gets his change and Bennett gets a change as well.
I tell you, Kevin Hundelt would probably love to have hair like his son has these days. Clark, oh, he can't pick it up.
Well, there you go.
We talked about the big turnover. That might be it. Wave has tied it up. And what potential heartbreak for Casey Clark in the Ambush.
All set up by a big kill by the Waves man down unit. They were fantastic on that penalty kill. Headed by Chad Vandegrift, the former Ambush player. Vandegrift, game in and game out, just gets better and better. There you see the goal scorer, Robert Renault. Take another look at the ambush go back, and there's a poor first touch, and then really just a disastrous second touch by Clark. Off his chest. I don't even know if Renault touched that ball. One more time, Tom. Look at that first touch. Oh, my. And then he compounds it with another touch off his chest. Let's see if Renault even touches it here. No, it goes right in its own goal. I think Renault will get credit because he's the closest man, or it should be the last player, Wave player that touched it, right? To go back in the tape to see what that one.
We're gonna have to rewind the archives, try and figure that one out.
I might have had the last touch back in 1989.
Well, you mentioned Vandegrift had a, is he the one who knocked it forward initially? But anyway, we'll give it to Renault for now. If it is, it's his 7th of the year. And more importantly, it's tied it up at 3 apiece.
Probably some saying, well, you know, Chad Vandegrift wants to play well because it's his old team. But Chad Vandegrift just gets better and better every game.
Ferdinand off the end board in front. Oh, Tosh just couldn't quite get it into the net.
Difficult conversion that time from Tocha, was spinning a little bit.
Now Ferdinand with a sidewinder that's just off the mark. So the Wave really cranking up the pressure now. Corey Dahl trying to get out of trouble there. And running up and blasting a shot downfield was Mattingly.
You said it, the Wave cranking up the pressure. When you have a goalie that just made a disastrous error like that, you want to put pressure immediately on him to force him to make a save, make another play.
Midway through the 4th period, just past that midway mark, and tied at 3. For now, Robert Renault gets credit for the goal at 6:10 that tied it up. Now Adamson trying to get past Shamali. Diaz reads the play, comes out to get it. Ferdinand tripped down by Sherman. The foul is go.
Tenzin Rampa, number 2 on the Wave bench, saying, what's the difference between that one and my penalty? Rampa right in the air is Shane Butler, the referee along these near boards. Haven't seen that Wave power play yet today, Tom.
No, and it's the best in the league, over 80%. Our producer Ian telling us that Ian Bennett might get credit for the goal. Well, if he was the last guy to touch it, technically for the Wave, as that ball hits the video board, and it'll be a restart at the Waves attacking line. But if that's the case, Ian Bennett, if he's the last Wave guy to touch it before that tying goal went into the net, then he would get credit for it. It'd be his second of the game, 31st of the year. Media timeout on the field. We'll keep it right here. Well, here we come down the stretch, AK. Tied at 3. Has certainly not gone the way the Wave was hoping for, but certainly has not had a lack of thrills attached with it.
Well, critical time right now for the Milwaukee Wave to finish this game off. We talked about it. You want to make the playoffs. Cannot drop one here to St. Louis. And so 6.5 left where you've got to execute. Give us some of your best stuff right here. Good restart opportunity for the Wave at the yellow line. Let's see what Giuliano Oliviero is going to draw up here for the Wave.
Schedule does not get easier for Milwaukee. They'll be in Chicago this upcoming Saturday, January 14th, for a 7 o'clock game at the Sears Center against the Mustangs. And then right back here to host Baltimore 2 weeks from today, Saturday, January 21st at 6:05 against the Baltimore Blast. Contact the Wave office for tickets, 414-224-WAVE. You can also order online at MilwaukeeWave.com, your source for everything Wave, including apparel and summer camps. And then they have to turn around after that game on the 21st, the night game on the 21st, and hustle down to St. Louis for the game at 3 o'clock the next day. All right, so there's Bennett's touch.
Right there.
Now, this is going to take a while to evolve, believe me, fans. But is it possible that was the last Wave touch? We were still talking about Dylan Hundelt's hair at that point.
There it was.
How about that?
Man, the rich get richer, huh? Bennett gets that goal. That's like Bill Gates winning the Powerball.
Sure enough, Ian Bennett, the last Wave player to touch it. He'll get credit for that. Well, would have been an own goal. If it was outdoor soccer, it'd be an own goal.
Probably another first, a record there with the longest. It went in between the touch and a goal, going an own goal. That was crazy.
Oh, man. So that goal ties it up. 6:20 to go. And we'll see who scores next. Good chance whoever scores next is going to win.
And Casey Clark right now taking too long. Gets caught holding the ball and away with the top of the arc restart.
So the delay again gives the Wave top of the arc restart. Ferdinand, far side. Monto's shot is turned away by Clark. Just barely got a piece of it. Daniel had one going to the upper 90, and Clark just barely getting a piece of that one. But I like that a lot better, Art. A more direct approach off the restart.
And forcing Clark to make a save.
Fans getting into it a bit more here down the stretch. Now Diaz.
Diaz has got to be careful here. 3-3. There's no reason why you need to push up and potentially get caught.
Ferdinand battling with Garcia. Max, great job. Oh, what an effort by Max Ferdinand, and the Wave leads it 4-3.
And you can tell, Tom, Clark in the goal for St. Louis is clearly rattled after that misplay. That time he's just back on his own line, not aggressive in his approach at all. And watch Ferdinand beats him to the near side, but watch Clark's body language here on this goal by Ferdinand. Just watch him in orange. He doesn't know whether he's coming or going.
9:30, the time of the goal for Max Ferdinand.
Good play that time by Ferdinand to beat Garcia in a 1v1 battle.
And we've got a penalty coming up against the Ambush as well. Going to be a 5-minute yellow card. Mitchell Garcia, he was the defender who got beaten on the play by Max Ferdinand. As you said, Art, just a great individual effort by Max to produce that goal, his 10th of the year. He also...
Sorry, Tom, Ambush now with a blue card, and it was Shane Butler, the referee on this near side, who was the furthest official away from the play, that made the correct call.
So Greg Kranz also going to draw a card here. And the Ambush trying to avoid imploding here in the last 5 minutes and 18 seconds.
You asked me before the game if I saw the Milwaukee Bucks game last night against the New York Knicks, but it's all coming unraveled for St. Louis the way it did for the Bucks last night against the Knicks. The game seemingly going your way the entire time, and then it only takes a couple minutes for things to turn.
And now the Wave with by far the league's most dominant power play! Shot on goal! Ian Bennett! Another hat trick for Ian, and the Wave leads it 5-3.
The league's premier power play player right there, number 26, Ian Bennett, pounced on the ball right at the top of the arc, right inside, right about the penalty spot. Bam! See Clark's hands down, couldn't get him up in time. You got a keeper that's rattled, man. You want to get pressure on him, and the Wave has done a good job here the last few minutes of punishing the St. Louis Ambush and Casey Clark.
Ambush takes a timeout. There is the league's leading goal scorer, 32 now on the year. It is amazing he can score from anywhere, even when he is back on the bench for a couple of minutes. And they used to talk about Gretzky picking up some liberal assists.
Yeah. No, that really was unbelievable, Tom. I think there was the replay on it.
Had to be 10 touches, I'll bet.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, it had to have been, what, 45 seconds to a minute
Probably
from the time Bennett took the last touch till the ball went in the back of the ambush net. You talked about Casey Clark, the St. Louis goalie. I'm not trying to pick on the kid. He's had a good game, but you said it. He's probably played his best game, but it's a 60-minute deal. You got to play it for all 60 minutes, and he got through about 50 minutes, and then it all went south for young Casey Clark.
The crowd celebrating this 3-goal uprising by the Wave here in the fourth period, all taking place in the span of 3 minutes and 43 seconds.
And we can all breathe a little sigh of relief, Tom.
We got a ways to go, but no doubts the tone has changed tremendously from what it was looking like for the first 3+ quarters. Now the Ambush just decided they're not going to mess around. They've gone with a 6th attacker now. Lucas Almeida has donned the jersey as they are going to see if they can produce something here offensively with the extra attacker in the last 5 minutes. Dylan Hundelt off the frame. Oh, he measured that one. Great attempt by Hundelt. Just maybe a couple of millimeters off target. Wave still trying to clear the zone. Nelson keeps it going to Bennett. Ian, of course, always looking for the empty net, but manages to clear it downfield.
We've seen a little bit about what Tony Glavin and Jamie Swanner, the Ambush coaches, have to deal with, right? You got a team that's 1-8, and that belief of can we finish games, it's just an issue right now. I tell you though, Tony Glavin, who's a indoor soccer legend, pocket rocket. Tony Glavin, number 22 when he played for St. Louis. There's no quitting that guy though. He's a coach's coach. He's going to keep preparing his guys. Going to keep working. You know, I talked to him before the game. There wasn't the head down. Wasn't any making excuses. Wasn't any woe is me. Just keep grinding, keep working.
Tony knows his stuff. There's no question about that. If he can keep this team intact, they definitely have some potential. There's a great stop there by Diaz as San Luis was trying to bang in the rebound, now out for Bennett. Ian double teamed the Ambush, get it back. Used up a lot of time that last possession. St. Louis using up at least a minute on the clock.
Think about what Tony Glavin's kind of going through. I remember Pete Rose, the hits leader, baseball great, right? He said, you know, managing the team was difficult, that I had to remind myself that I can't expect the players to do what I did, to play like I played. And that's Tony Glavin, right? You can't expect the players to play like Tony Glavin did. For those of you that never saw Tony Glavin play, this guy was a phenomenal player. No stopping him, great right foot, could score goals. As I said, the pocket rocket, fan favorite in St. Louis.
Sean Tosh almost able to knock it away, but now Adamson has it. Lays it off, and the shot just wide by Kostakis. Oh, and what a stand-up tackle there by Corey Dahl at midfield to put down Ian Bennett. Hopefully Ian's okay.
Ian didn't see Dowell come off the Ambush bench.
Wow.
And perfect timing by Dowell to greet Ian Bennett.
Less than 2 to go. Remember, Wave's next home game, 2 weeks from today, January 21st, against the defending MASL champion Baltimore Blast. Always a battle when those two ancient rivals get together, the Wave and the Blast. Call the Wave office for tickets, 414-224-WAVE, or you can order online at MilwaukeeWave.com. Now Dowell got away off the top of the frame. Oh, unlucky for Corey Dahl. And the ambush has been ringing that frame quite a few times today.
I was going to say, we saw Almeida off the free kick earlier in the game, and that one there.
Hundelt just before put it off the frame. Nelson sends it downfield, Almeida with it. Still time for St. Louis if they can get a quick goal. Vandegrift steps up to clear downfield. Bennett racing along with San Luis. Stefan trying to hold him off. Boy, I'll tell you, Ian Bennett, got to have as lively a legs as there is in this league.
No question. And we talked about that hit by Dow. You know, you scored 31 goals, and you're on the streak that he's on. You better have your head on a swivel late in games when you're up.
Renault coming in, a nice tackle there by Dylan Hundelt. 30 seconds to go. Ambush needs to do something quickly. And instead, Corey Dow pulls it back for the 6th attacker. Well, the clock ticking down. Ambush being patient for a consolation goal here. Shot by Hundelt, broke it up, look out! Long chip downfield is just wide by Ian Bennett. And that will do it. Ian Bennett and the Milwaukee Wave with a late rally here to win it today. Final score, Milwaukee 5, St. Louis 3. Stick around, fans. We will be sending it down for our PCI hardest working player of the game. Got a few candidates for today's game. Bennett certainly with a hat trick would be run. Max Ferdinand with a goal and assist. Rafael Dias with a solid game today, Art. Probably another guy who was ready due to get a victory. Picked one up today. So let's take a look back again at some of the highlights. The Oompa Loompas were here today, and they were moving just as fast. Both goalkeepers really showed well today for the most part, but that was the big turnover right there.
Yeah, and it really unraveled Clark psychologically.
And that was what turned out to be the game-winning goal from Max Ferdinand as he won the battle against Mitchell Garcia. And then, boy, just a great turn and shot there. And then Ian Bennett finishes up with the power play goal. Again, an unlucky bounce for the ambush that came across the top of the area after a shot by Ferdinand was blocked. But Ian making no mistake there, and he hasn't missed too much, Art, when he's in that penalty area this year.
Face the Wave power play, you're almost better off trying to play 4-on-3 and just having a guy stand with Bennett.
There's a look at our next broadcast, next home game. Hope it can be on hand, fans.
Who's that team coming in Milwaukee? We haven't seen them for a while, Tom.
Well, we sure haven't. We sure haven't, but that is going to be a big one, fans. Always is when Baltimore comes to town. Let's send it down to Van McNeil.
Here with our Professional Construction Incorporated hardest working player of the game, your Major Arena Soccer League player of the month,
okay,
doing
Ian,
it again
stuff,
with another hat trick. Give it up for Ian Bennett.
Hey, man, thank you, man. It was tough, but honestly, it's all about the team today, man. They carried us, man. I was just trying to do my thing, but it was tough today, but early game, but the fans and the team played well, man.
Yeah, the team came together really well earlier in the week. That Chicago game, you had 6 goals. Over in Chicago, you had 7 goals. That got you the Player of the Month accolades. That's got to be an honor.
Yeah, it's always good, but I'm nothing without these guys, man. These guys set me up. They make me look good. I just try to do my thing. I try to work and let everything happen and fall in place.
Let's get you the hat here, the Professional Construction Incorporated hardest working player of the game. Give it up for number 26, your Player of the Month, Ian Bennett, Wave fans. We're going to wrap it up. Tom and Art will take us home. Back to you guys.
So again, our final score, Wave 5, Ambush 3. For the Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer, Tom Wynn, wishing you a good one. We'll see you next time on Wave Soccer.